How's it going on? This is the Anime Man, and welcome back to another episode of the monthly Otaku Collection, the show that I do at the end of every single month where I go over some of the manga, the anime, and other otaku things that I want to cover in this video because I experienced it this month and I couldn't put it in a video of its own. Plus, as always, there is a monthly giveaway that I do at the end of the video, so if you want to get in on that shit, then stick around until the end. Now, suffice it to say, not a whole lot has happened this April because the lockdown, at least here in Japan, is finally set in place for the novel virus that I'm sure we are all aware of. The one who shall not be named due to the fact that I will get demonetized. And, you know, I don't want to get political, especially at the beginning of any one of my videos or ever in any of my videos, but goddamn, it took the Japanese government just way too long to set this shit up. They should have done it months ago, to be honest, and I'm sure that Japan is like not taking it as seriously as other countries are at the moment. So suffice it to say, I haven't done a whole lot because I haven't been out of the house the whole month. So yay. But don't worry, I've got a bunch of cool videos coming out for you within the next couple of months. A lot of the videos, especially the ones that I filmed outside, were done before the whole lockdown thing was happening, so putting that out there before people start to freak out and tell me to stay inside. I have been staying inside, that's the only thing I can do. But speaking of staying inside, one thing that I have been doing a hell of a lot of while staying inside is playing a lot of games. Because I don't really get the time to play a lot of games in my spare time, or whenever I have spare time that's not about making videos or doing some kind of work-related thing. And there have been a couple of games that have come out this month that I have just been hooked as fuck on. Obviously, Animal Crossing is one game that I'm pretty sure everyone and their mothers is getting hooked on right now. And you know, obviously there's like a bunch of games that I've been playing every now and then over on my Twitch channel, which you should totally follow if you haven't yet. But the one game I want to cover this month especially is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, goddamn, is that game fucking good or what? I mean, look, a lot of people have like kind of mixed feelings about it. Some people say that it's a really, really good remake. So others are kind of skeptical about it, probably looking at the game through the nostalgia goggles. Now, me personally, I love the Final Fantasy games. I've played almost all of them. I pretty much played all of them except for the 2 MMOs, which I don't know if I should ever start. Otherwise, I won't ever do anything else with my life. And as much as I think the original Final Fantasy VII looked great, it was definitely due for a remake, especially graphically. As much as those egg beater hands and nostalgia, I don't think I want that to be the only thing I remember about Final Fantasy VII. And again, as much as I love the original game, as much as I love the remake, 7 isn't exactly my favorite. It's not even in my top 3, in all honesty. But either way, I fucking enjoy it. I mean, waifus alert, holy shit. Because is the top requirement to live in Midgard to be like this like super fucking gorgeous character with gorgeous hair and gorgeous personalities and all that? Just gorgeous people. But yeah, I blasted through that game in like 3 days because again, lockdown, and I enjoyed everything about it. 100% finished all the side quests and everything. I was just thoroughly enjoying that game, and it kind of made me want to like go on a little bit of a Final Fantasy binge, in all honesty, which I might do again over on my Twitch. Follow it. But with that out of the way, let's cover the anime. Yes, I actually did watch some anime during this month of lockdown. A lot of anime movies, actually. Me and Aki had quite a bit of fun kind of rewatching a lot of anime movies, and the one anime movie that we happen to rewatch is Princess Mononoke. Yes, that's right, we are going normie with the Ghibli shit. But as normie as it may be, it's good shit. Now, I'm sure you've heard me say this in a number of videos, but I love me my Ghibli, and out of all of the Ghibli movies that have ever come out, Mononoke Hime is hands down my favorite. And it's been quite a while since I kind of just sat down and casually rewatched Mononoke Hime, and man, that movie is just as good as I remember it to be. It's dark, it's creepy, it's atmospheric, the music, holy shit. The whole dark fantasy thing is just, it's just such a kink of mine. Now, I'm sure it doesn't take me to tell you to go and watch Princess Mononoke, because I doubt that anybody watching this video hasn't seen Princess Mononoke, and if you haven't yet, wow, don't know how you could have missed that one, Chief. But if you haven't, please do go check it out. There is a reason why there is a lot of hype around it, and considering that the movie came out like fucking over 20 years ago or some crazy thing like that. But yeah, isn't it hilarious how we have all of this time during quarantine, and yet there's plenty of time to go and watch and catch up on some of the new shit that has come out, and yet I spend the majority of my time playing games and rewatching anime that I've already seen. It do be like that. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the manga. Now, yes, I actually did read some manga, and I read some new manga. There's 2 volumes of manga that specifically that I want to cover in this video. One of them is definitely more on the serious side of things, a kind of a psychological horror / thriller side of things, which is definitely a genre of manga that I enjoy, and the other one is, well, if you looked at the title and thumbnail, should be pretty obvious. But let's start with the thriller / psychological horror one, and it is this one right here, titled Ningen Kado, which basically just means human card. I know, it doesn't sound as cool in English, but at least it's got some sick art. I mean, that girl is very, very nice. The synopsis is pretty simple. We've got some high school kids and they discover a kind of dark web website where people have these mysterious cards called Ningen Kado, human cards. And as the name suggests, it is a card with a certain supernatural power that makes you able to capture people and trap them in these cards. Think of Pokemon cards, but like on the human trafficking level. And so our main character finds out about the main heroine, this girl right here, unsurprisingly, having found out that her father has been missing for quite some time, and he happened to snoop around on the Ningen Kado website and happened to find his dad listed as one of the captured cards. So now it is up to the main character, the main heroine, and the main character's best friend to go out there and try and uncover the dark truth of the Ningen Kado black market to help save her dad. Now the gimmick, I guess, to get these people into these cards is kind of interesting. You have to expose their weaknesses, and the moment that they have exposed their own weaknesses as a human, then you are able to capture that person and basically turn them into a slave in this card. I don't know about you, but just hearing that synopsis very heavily reminded me of Death Note. To be fair, you know, Death Note kind of like paved the way of that whole, you know, using everyday items kind of thing, like notes, or in this case cards, as, you know, instruments of torture and stuff like that. So suffice to say, this isn't exactly the most original idea, because once you do kind of realize the similarities between Death Note and this, it's very hard to not look at it again. And even, I guess, this art style, you can argue, has a slight Obata Takeshi influence to it, with its relatively realistic and dark tones, especially with the coloring. And I mean, the theme and everything is just very psychological, very dark, very thriller mystery based, which is, you know, all about what Death Note is. Now, I don't mean to put Death Note up on a pedestal in terms of genres of manga like this, but it is very much a very high pedestal that other manga series of similar nature has to go over. And did Ningen Kado manage to get anywhere close to that target? Maybe. Again, I've only read 1 volume of this, so it's kind of difficult to determine, but just from the strength of this first volume, I'd say that it's kind of on the right way. There is a rather like big mystery plot twist that is uncovered at the back half of this first volume that really does change, I guess, the tone of and the direction of where the story is going to head towards. But other than that, yeah, it's good. I mean, definitely worth giving a shot if you do enjoy your Death Note and psychological mystery horrors and stuff like that, but it's not exactly one that you really need to be sinking your teeth into no matter what. Now, the second manga is definitely going to get me demonetized, and is another manga that I think has been heavily influenced, although I don't know which came first in this case, this manga or the manga that it is clearly referencing or got inspiration from, and it is this one right here. It's called Kemonokko Doubutsuen, and I'm sure this cover right here pretty much explains everything that you need to know about it. But if you couldn't figure it out, it is an ecchi, heavily ecchi, basically like vanilla hentai at this point, of the main character who is a zookeeper, and he is doing everything he can to maintain the zoo, but the zoo is kind of going down the dumps because there are no male animals left in the zoo. Pretty much almost all of the animals in this zoo are females, and so they're having a hard time finding mates for these animals to get more animals appearing at the zoo, and therefore getting the zoo out of a financial dump. So what do they decide to do? Well, the professor, I guess the zoologist who works at that zoo, has managed to concoct some kind of experiment to turn the animals in the zoo into fuckable waifus. Not just fuckable waifus, but humanoid fuckable waifus. They only change at night, and it is up to the main character / zookeeper to provide the seed, so to speak, basically conduct in some borderline bestiality to help preserve the financial success of the zoo that he works at. Now, I'm sure you don't need me to spell it out when it comes to what manga I'm talking about when it comes to the influence of this particular manga, but it is Ishizoku Reviewers, which I also covered very briefly in a couple of monthly otaku collections back. But this one isn't set in any kind of isekai. It is set in the real world, and they're not so much like isekai creatures, like mythical creatures, but just straight up animals. And like conceptually, this thing is like straight up borderline bestiality because they are animals. At night, they turn into girls, but during the day, they're just regular fucking animals. Beastars eat your heart out. So suffice to say, I wasn't exactly okay with this concept at first, but they definitely do take it more in a comedy side of things. Like, they definitely put it in more of a light-hearted way, and by the end of this first volume, I actually completely forgot that I was reading something that was, you know, teetering over on the borderline bestiality side of things. Call me weird, I know. I mean, the art style is very interesting. Clearly, the person who wrote this, her name is Nupuchin. Even the name sounds like a hentai artist. It probably is a hentai artist, to be honest, because this thing is like straight up borderline hentai. Like, even though they don't show the private parts or anything, a lot of that, almost all of that is blurred out. Basically, every single chapter has the zookeeper having intercourse with a different humanoid animal. So yeah, definitely not suitable for children if you couldn't already catch that drift. But there's also some kind of like ironically funny side of things as well, because as they're introducing, every chapter basically has a different animal that the zookeeper has to fuck, and as they're like introducing the humanoid animal, they also like throw in different like commentary and like factoids about certain animals. Like in the second chapter of this first volume, the zookeeper has to mate with the one and only female panda, and he goes into the cage to see the female panda playing with herself, and they justify that accidental ecchi scene happening by putting in a straight fact to say that pandas in real life actually do play with themselves every now and then. Like, cool, I guess. Didn't really need to know that, but thanks, manga. It's kind of hard to, I guess, you know, analytically break this manga down as to whether it is good or not. It's just trash, basically. It's just ecchi trash that you can just mindlessly read. I mean, I enjoyed it as someone who likes, you know, his off-brand stuff. Hey, man, I don't have a problem with it. It may be borderline bestiality, but at the end of the day, they're just lines on a piece of paper, bruv. And considering it says 1 right here, I assume there's more volumes, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna look for the next couple of volumes because, you know, you can never have enough ecchi trash in your life. But yeah, if you are under the age of 18, I'm legally obligated to tell you to not read this, even though me saying that has probably already gotten some of y'all on to go onto Amazon to look for this shit. So yeah, enjoy yourself with that, I guess. But with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to unveil everyone's favorite part of the monthly otaku collection, and that is of course the monthly figurine giveaway, as always brought to you by the lovely folks over at Tokyo Otaku Mode. Now this month, we have 2 figurines. That's right, I'm spoiling y'all motherfuckers because last month I couldn't get you guys a figurine giveaway and I felt so bad about it. So this month I was like, you know what, Tokyo Otaku Mode, let's give our lovely viewers something that they will just fucking froth over. Let's double it up this time with 2 figurines. And they were like, bruv, heard you loud and clear. And it's of a series that I haven't covered yet, I've never given away, and it's a figurine actually of a series that I don't actually have any of. This is a brand new series that is going to be added to this collection and hopefully to one of you guys watching's collections. And it is a sexy piece of figurine merch, let me tell you, my boys. And it is, boom, this one right here. That's right, the one and only Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. Now, I don't have a single Cowboy Bebop figurine, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't either, because these things are freaking expensive, but look how cool this thing looks. Look at that. That is one of the fucking sexiest Cowboy Bebop figurines that I have ever seen. Really big size. It is done by Mega House. They are very good quality of figurine maker right here, first gig. But let me tell you, my boys, it gets even better. Because would you believe it, this figurine is actually a double set. This is only the first half of the figurine, and I am also giving away the second half this month because it is Faye Valentine. Look how sexy she looks, goddamn. I mean, I think we can all agree that Faye Valentine is just like an ageless, like, sexy girl in anime. Like 20 years from now, people will still be talking about how hot Faye Valentine is. But basically, this is part of a set, a double set, and here are the pictures of both of the figurines put together, and I mean, how could you not want this? This is one of the coolest double set figurines that I've ever seen, and everybody loves Cowboy Bebop, everybody likes Spike and Faye, so I'm sure a lot of people want to get their hands on this, and luckily for you, my ladies and gentlemen, I am giving these two figurines away to one lucky person watching this video with the box signed, as always, by your boy. To enter the free giveaway, all you have to do is follow 3 simple steps. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that link down in the description below to enter, again, the free giveaway. And by the time the entry date is over, one of you lucky lady or gentleman will be able to win yourself this beautiful double Cowboy Bebop set. So again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, go down to the link in the description below, and good luck to the winners. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this month's monthly otaku collection. Thank you once again for joining in until the very end. I appreciate it as always. Hopefully you guys have been keeping safe and clean during the lockdown. I mean, you know, the situation isn't getting any better, honestly, but it's with, you know, us. We have to work together to prevent it from getting any worse. Stay inside, wash your hands, stay healthy. Let me know what kind of shenanigans you guys got up to in this month. What kind of manga did you read? What kind of anime did you watch? What games did you play? What figurines did you buy? Oh, and I'm sure it goes without saying, but I won't be attending any conventions, most likely this year, because, you know, let's be real, the whole lockdown thing, this whole pandemic thing is probably not going to end until the end of this year. I mean, Anime Expo recently just came out and said that they were cancelling, so that's pretty much not going to happen. But if you would like to keep up with all of my stuff, then all my social medias are down in the description of every video, so definitely go and follow those if you haven't. And thanks again for your support, guys, and again, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, like and favorite if you enjoy, subscribe for anime banter, keep watching anime. Johnny!